Hello, the internet.
Hello, internet. We're at Dylan's place today. We're kind of like back on schedule of fixing his car. We had a little break, worked on my car, chilled out a bit, but now we're back. We're gonna put some forbidden cordial in it. It's gonna drink it. It's gonna drink it. We're gonna mount an LS1 coil.
V8 parts.
Yep.
We're going to do my fuse and relay box I've been talking about this whole time.
Yes.
Yeah, just still sort of buttoning stuff up, starting on some wiring, and getting coolant in it. Maybe we can crank it over.
That would be tasty.
And turn the starter.
We should do that. That's the objective. We're gonna crank it.
Yeah.
We're gonna crank it. All right, sweet.
Cool.
Let's get to it.
First up, I am painting this water pump outlet, which I
I've spoken about finding for the last 4 episodes.
I neglected to look for it for about a month, but I just cleaned our indoor space here and I found it in a box. So it's one of the last pieces of my cooling system that needs to go on, but it's a bit grot, so it's gonna get a lick of paint.
Ooh, what colour, Dylan?
I bet you can guess.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I don't know if we can guess. Is it pink?
Close.
Close. Alright, what colour is it, Dill?
Shut up, stop asking. It's stainless steel, it's just Dulux Duramax. You get it from Bunnings. Actually works really well. It's bump, shock and scratch resistant for metal, wood and ceramics. So it's got rebound and compression.
It's two-way adjustable paint.
Adjustable, yeah.
Painting is all about patience. And we don't have any of that. Oh, Dill, show us your hand. Which hand?
It's my hand tattoo.
Oh.
Hi, Alec. There you go, get a load of that.
This has actually happened almost as quickly as I filmed it. Your outlet head. Alright, alternator, flipping down, and then we can get access to... Where is it actually?
Right, back here.
It's hard to see, it's like under this.
I've got to be so careful. I have like 3-day-old tattoos. You'd think it would be unreasonable to think that a tattoo can like come off. It's like, bro, it's in your skin forever. But
if you scratch it when it's brand new,
that happens.
It's a big chunk gone.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you break your diff. Is that the pinion gear?
Screw you, fresh paint job. So I cut down my little thing. You said do that. And now I've actually cut down the hose. It goes between the thermostat housing and the water pump. Actually, this system is so much neater than I had it before.
I feel like we say that about everything in this car.
Yeah, well, it was pretty crap before.
It was pretty botched together before.
It was actually not my doing the water setup previously.
And it worked, so we just kind of went with it.
Just went with it.
We didn't really know about stuff.
That's true. We didn't know a lot of stuff about things.
No. Oh, dude, nice. It's all on.
Yeah, it's on.
You can see it. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's actually so much nicer than it used to be.
It is very, very much neater.
Now time to... I love how simple these cars are. It's just like a belt on the front.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm putting on a coolant overflow.
And a jumper.
And a jumper. I'm cold, actually. It's cold out here. It is winter.
Dylan's unfortunately got an outlet on this weird angle, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
But also, you should know by now that Dylan hates red. Not red cars, but red things.
That's true. Oh no.
We're going to put turtle coolant in this.
Well, it's kind of pink looking.
Pink. You can argue that it's closer to that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh no, I didn't think about that.
Haha. Wrecked.
Dang.
We got a funnel?
I never use funnels.
Yeah.
Bad man.
You're a bad guy. And we were just saying we're kind of mildly expecting
a lot of leaks. That's alright. You live and you learn. Alright, so we have a small leak.
Our fears are confirmed.
In that it's pouring out of the back of the water pump. And out of the thermostat housing. So that's great. I'm gonna get a bucket. Gonna tighten up the bottom of the thermostat housing here where one of the leaks is.
Oh yeah, it's tight.
Looks like it's actually not leaking anymore.
It's definitely stopped it a little bit. It's just like slowly pouring out of one spot.
Yeah, it's just coming out of the back of the water pump.
It is too.
So there's an O-ring that's meant to seal that, but I think I'll just take it off and put some goop on it as well as the O-ring.
We're getting all the coolant out.
Oh, maybe the O-ring didn't seat properly. Where is the O-ring? The O-ring wasn't on there. No, you're joking. Unless it fell off. Probably did that thing where it falls off when you take it off.
Dude, you're probably doing that thing where I thought I didn't have a thermostat. Maybe I have to look. Where's the O-ring?
Just reach in there and it's, you idiot! What did I say?
Oh, you idiot!
It's right here, you idiot!
That was actually hilarious. I felt like such a dumbass.
You should. Go on then.
Oh my god, it's arguably worse. No! I love the quiet laughter in the back.
So the O-ring actually wasn't seated properly,
We found the issue.
which is good. Actually, it was like way off. It was pinching there and there.
Yeah, damn.
So I'll dry this off. I'll put some gasket goo on the O-ring, stick it in so it sticks in there, and then I'll put some gasket goo on here, and then I'll tighten it up so that this stays in place. This really should have gone on before the water pump went on the engine, but I didn't know where it was.
Hard to know where things are when you don't look for them. Yes.
Yes. It's day 2. It's a sunny day. I'm in an A86. What are we even doing today? We're gonna put water in my car.
Yeah, we're gonna try and put coolant in it
Yeah.
and then have it not fall out.
Yeah, hopefully it stays in there. Otherwise my water pump is probably leaking.
It's
And
probably toast.
I really don't want that to be the case. I gooped up that outlet.
Oh, so pretty in the sunlight.
Look at that.
So pretty.
But we've let it cure overnight, so I'll snug it up a little further. And then we'll put the hose back on and we'll see if it holds
Pray to
water.
God.
Which I honestly don't reckon it will, but...
I mean, I don't see any leaks yet.
Oh,
Science. It worked. I think.
Oh my god.
I'm really scared to say that.
Yeah, me too. You probably could drink this. It's not cordial, but it's just regular water.
Yeah,
so.
actually, we need to cross that out.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna leave water in there and probably when it's dry, it's been raining overnight, so it's kind of hard to tell. And also there's water all in there. I'll put some cardboard under there for the next couple of days when it's dry and see if anything leaks out. But it's not gushing out like it was before, but also it was pretty obvious why it was leaking before if it was there, because the O-ring was just not doing anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, well that's good. That's a plus.
This is awesome. We should try crank it today.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, all I have to do is put a ground on, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I just have to find where my engine ground is. It's kicking around somewhere. Alright, so I gave up on aluminium, gone to some steel. This is already folded, so I'm just going to cut it to shape, and then it'll hold my ignition coil on.
Yes.
Ow! Good. It's gonna be like that.
Neat. It's getting there.
It's good.
What's the trick?
Put some grey lead on my finger, and then put this on here. So I know where the hole is compared to the
Edge. Dude, that's sick. That's actually so easy.
yeah.
Bang.
And you drill a hole.
Dude, that's super simple.
Nice. Just give it this. Nice.
Dude, that's pretty spicy.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Like that. It's gonna chill there. Usually it's gonna go there.
Oh, cool as.
What's that color? Oh shit, I nearly sprayed the GoPro. Time to get out the heat gun again.
the impatience gun.
I got the bracket all painted up. I used the impatience gun to make it go quick, and now I've got the bolts on, it's all bolted on, and now I can put it on the car.
Yeah.
And it's all tightened up to the... Oh, this bracket, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned. EFI Hardware, which is where we got our...
The fuel pump set up from.
Yeah, the fuel pump set up from. They are in Victoria. They're like 30 minutes from my place. And they stock this LS1 ignition coil bracket for $16.
That's pretty slick.
Which is pretty slick.
And also, what we can do
Yeah.
is show everyone what mine looks like after you bolt this in comparison.
Oh, that side of the engine bay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to show like how nice it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much wiring here yet, but...
No, but even just the coil itself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you've got the standard igniter and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, the reason why I'm using an LS1 coil is it has an igniter already in it, so I don't have to run an igniter and a coil.
Yeah.
I just run this.
Yes, I've got the standard A86 set up, which is kind of cool, but like, it's not good.
Also kind of nerd. I do have one qualm with this bracket. It is a little flimsy, so I don't know. If it annoys me enough, I might make some sort of support for it on the bottom.
It's still cool.
Because it kind of... which is kind of annoying. But I mean, I could...
It's still meant to be.
I could put like a little rib nut in here and then... Yeah, I could put a stop on it. I might just put some double-sided tape, some thick double-sided tape on it. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. This is a bit silly, but I've got some double-sided tape all stacked on itself. Hopefully you won't see it. Just as an attempt to stop the vibrating.
Needs more stacking.
It kind of does. You know what? That's alright. You won't see it.
The internet sees it.
It's kind of not the same. Nah, but it doesn't go back and forth.
Yeah, nice. Dude, it's fine.
That's
It's not like you're gonna look at it.
Maybe I will. Well, here's my side of the engine bay, and Matt wants to show how crap his side of the engine bay looks like.
I don't know why I want to show that, but I do.
So pretty complex setup with a igniter, coil, all this schmozzle. This is going over to the driver's side. There's some sort of harness going on there. I don't really know what's going on there, but mine's actually not gonna have any wires coming across here except for the ignition lead. So it's gonna be the wiring from my ignition coil just goes straight into here, and then it'll go through that one, and then the Dizzy's gonna go with the starter wiring and then up back here and into the firewall
Nice.
with my stuff for my O2 sensor.
Oh, did you know something we haven't actually said to people?
Yeah.
So, I've got two studs coming out here.
Oh yeah, true.
And my car actually came with a spare pedal set. This car used to be a loaner driver's car, like back in the day when it had a 4K motor in it and it was new.
Yeah.
And now I do skids in it, which I think is hilarious.
You used to be able to drive it from the passenger side.
Yeah, you know when you get in a loaner car and the teacher can just like hit the brakes for you if you can't drive.
Then
that
there's a clutch
actually
as well.
used to be in here,
That's actually
which I think
wild.
is incredible. Yeah, that's so funny.
So cool.
But you know, even though this is ugly, you know what's good about this thing?
What?
Works.
Come on, man.
Little earth cable here, strapped to the chassis and strapped to the engine block, and that came off Dylan's old 4K motor. And battery is all plugged in, ready to go. We just need a bolt here to get the alternator back tightened up. We lost the bolt, and then obviously the belt will then be tensioned, and then we should be able to crank the car. Dude, this is so exciting. We're gonna like just hear some noise. This is gonna be weird.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully it's not like really anticlimactic like last time where we tried to crank it and it did nothing. Moment of truth.
I'm scared.
I'm actually pretty scared. We haven't like checked over this. Nothing? Wait, you can hear the ding ding. Dill's just getting the multimeter out so we can check to see that all the wiring we've done actually works. It's probably a good start, but we are also thinking that maybe because the starter that's in this car there under the headers was in the fire, so it's possible that that's toast. I was looking around for what was wrong with the car. I was trying to ground the starter everywhere and it just wasn't working, and I haven't touched the starter circuit, so I was so confused and so annoyed. Turns out the starter relay was bogus. So this actually isn't the usual relay that sits in there. There's usually a big square one, so I just got it from another harness that I had there. And now, if Matt will so kindly hit the switch, battery's dead, but it turns over. Dude, this is so weird. How good is that? Yeah, the battery's fully dead. Oh man, I can't even believe it. It's so strange. That's actually such a relief that it works though. I was like thinking I was gonna have to... Well, I was thinking I was gonna have to unwrap my whole wiring harness that I built for the front end. Because stupid me, I built it and put it in and like wrapped it, and I didn't test it before I wrapped it, so... You know, that's a bit of a mistake. Yeah, that would've sucked. Alright, so next on the agenda, it is tomorrow. Matt is not here. I'll be doing this part of the video on my own. What I got going on, essentially, is this Fusion relay box. And in here, my little notepad, I have and then in my little notebook, I've got the layout of my relays in here, which is what I was sort of trying to nut out. So one of my relays is going to be powering my ECU, so it's going to be the actual 12 volt power to my ECU. So when I turn my key on, I'll get the switch 12 volt from that, and it'll fire off the relay to tell it to, you know, make the connection to give the ECU power. Same with my alternator. My alternator needs switched ignition 12 volts. And then the other ones here are actually going to be switched by the ECU. So they're going to be switching to ground for my fuel pump, my injectors, and my thermostat fan, so my thermo fan. So the ECU is going to tell those when to turn on, and say, for instance, with the fuel pump, it'll tell it how long to prime and stuff like that. So yeah, basically it's a really essential part of the running of your car. This would all be done by a factory harness. If I was running a 90 series 4AG car, loom and ECU, then I would probably have a Fusion relay box that I would just whack in. But because I'm going to the standalone, I've got to kind of do it myself, which does make it a bit neater because it doesn't have all the superfluous wires running there. I've been putting this off because it's a pain, but I've set myself up a little sort of wholesome desk space here. I've got plenty of tea, and hopefully I'll be able to sort it out. What I need through this is all of my constant 12 volts in parallel so that I don't get a voltage drop. What I also need is anything that's getting switched by ignition 12 volt needs to be in parallel as well, so that the voltage is high enough to switch the relay so that it will do the thing it's got to do. So essentially what the relay is doing is it's making the circuit through 86 and 85 complete, so that the 87 and 30 circuit will become complete as well, and that will power my desired component with the constant 12 volt coming straight from the battery, so not going to have any voltage drop or anything there. And then each relay has to go from the 30 pin to a fuse and then to the part. So I have all of my relays set up. So everything in here is to do with the relays. These are my grounds that are going to go to my ECU. These are my ignition 12 volts positive and negative that are going to switch the relays. And then these are starting to be my power wires coming out of here. You may notice I'm only using 4 different colors of wire. Actually it is 5 because there's a light blue and a dark blue, but unfortunately that's all I've got, and I'm broke, so it's just going to be a matter of labeling everything as best as I can. Shouldn't be a problem until I have to rewire it if I've screwed it up, so that should be alright. I've got everything noted down, so hopefully we'll be okay. But so here I have power to my fan, there's power to my fuel pump,
And then this is going to be switch power to my alternator. A couple things I've been thinking about while I've been doing this. I would definitely recommend having a bag of these terminals. Uninsulated crimp terminals, the female ones. Pretty easy to screw up these. The kit will only supply you with exactly the number of terminals that you need. These are all going to finish in a plug, and then they'll go elsewhere, so if need be, I can just completely unplug the box. There'll be a plug for this one, there'll be a plug for that one, or I might end up doing just 1B1, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll be able to unplug the box, pull it off the firewall, and change it up, whatever. Just better to plan ahead. Makes it easier for putting it in the car as well. So, 2 harnesses, this is essentially all the powers. This is all the grounds and sort of signal. Pretty simple, hey? I mean, not exactly simple, but pretty neat, I guess. So that's gonna sit in my engine bay like that. Couple plugs here. Beep boot. Cut back to yesterday.
Alright, that's the end of that one. We got Dylan's car cranking, which is sick.
That's cool.
And super exciting. Like, that's a massive deal.
Yeah, and there's water in the car and it seems to be staying in there, which is good.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's, water, oil, obviously, like pretty much everything now, just wiring.
Yes,
Just
which
wiring.
we've been saying the entire time. But, so I started on my fuse and relay box. I'm going to do that in the future, but this is the past.
You would have
so
seen it.
I'm going to do that tomorrow, but it's going to be in the video. It has the ignition coil in there, so I've just got to run the sensor harness from the ECU and set up the ECU. Pretty much. There is a few other things to do. The front guards actually aren't bolted on properly, and the scuttle panel over here needs some love. That's a lot of the video. It is getting close. Hearing it crank kind of makes it real. For the
Yeah,
first
like we
time.
kind of forgot that this was like a working car for a long time.
or like it could. Well, it wasn't a working car.
Yeah, but we forgot that it could be, and then it used to be, kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
it feels weird, like actually having some life. So that's super sick.
It's more like a driveway ornament for the most part.
Has been for a while.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks heaps for watching. Thanks for joining us in the live chat if you're in there. Thanks for playing nice.
Yes, we mute people that suck.
All right.
Bye.
See you next week.